I did it again. I didn't have the mic on. So here's the footage. What was I talking about on this one? Well, I was talking about 3 comic books that I reviewed for this video. And the first one is Batman and Robin. I finally got back into that one. I believe that's issue 4. I think issue 5's already out. Yeah. Basically, a spoiler, Batman and Robin is the best of the 3 that I review here. It looks like they had a new artist come in that the original artist just didn't finish. That's the original artist's work there, here with Batman coming in. And ultimately, I mean, even though it's kind of a lackluster issue, it's setting up things, which, you know, can be a problem in the long run when there's no payoff. But yeah, Man Bat is revealed to be the big villain, which at least in this story arc, which just sort of ends. I mean, he gets away and in this female hush called Shush, which is turning out is going to be more of a villain for Robin than Batman, and a lot of Robin's past is delved into here and that sort of thing. So it's basically just a setup issue rather than a conclusion of the overall arc that they had set up earlier. So the main setup is Robin has to go to high school, and it ends on a note that he finally comes to terms with this, because turns out the case that he's involved in is involved at high school as well. So, hey, what are the odds, you know? But that is the situation that he finds himself in. So a lot of times when there's a new artist that comes in, they're not on par with the original one you had. Like they were late or couldn't finish or whatever. In this case, the new artist is pretty good too. It's just a jarring difference between the two. Well, not too jarring, but there's a more manga influence on the original artist and not so much on the new one. But there's a certain style to it that's fine. But anyway, the Batman books of late from DC are terrible. This one is not. It's not the greatest thing since sliced bread, but it's pretty good. I'm enjoying it. So as far as recommendations go, and as far as betting on current ongoing Batman titles, Batman and Robin is your best bet so far. So we'll see how that goes. Meanwhile, speaking of story arcs and whatnot that never pay off or get anywhere, how about some that never even start? Such is the case with Justice Society. Now, granted, they had their battle to explain time travel shenanigans for the purposes of the Huntress, and they concluded that, but just wasn't much there to it. And a lot of constant development before you get to a story and then it's over. And I fear the same will be true here. But the deal here is already off. Gee, I wonder who this girl is. Well, she's the daughter of this new Red Lantern that's a part of this retcon of the Alan Scott Green Lantern. Of course, there's Red Lanterns introduced in the Green Lantern Corps with Hal Jordan and all those guys. But here it's different, and again just speaks to this needs to be, they need to bring Earth 2 back and let this be an Earth 2 title where there's no Green Lantern Corps. There's, you know, the Alan Scott Green Lantern or whatever. So this character is introduced as the new Red Lantern for this version. She's the daughter of the original, who was Alan Scott's ultimate nemesis and his former boyfriend. Now, that's the deal. I have not read the crappy miniseries that was sold only on Alan Scott's, sexuality swap, which happened. He was not a homosexual character. There was an alternate universe version of him. He had a homosexual son who I guess didn't measure up. And where's he now? I don't know. So they did this to the original Alan Scott, and now retconned his whole story where he had this rivalry with an equally powered villain who, of course, is his former lover, who was overcome by the Crimson Flame. So, but then he had a daughter later on who now has succeeded him. And she believes he's still alive. Alan Scott says, no, I saw him die, but she's probably right. He probably is still alive somewhere. But anyway, so that's the whole setup. Of course, I guess they'll get around to revealing that Alan Scott also had children, Obsidian and Jade. And we'll see where they go with that, I guess, if this survives long enough for them to get there. And of course, yes, gay men would try to have hetero relationships and would have children. So, there's credibility to it, but you can't get past that this is a retcon only for identity politics purposes and that sort of thing. And that's all it is. There's a little tidbit here about the Harlequin has a son. Of course, this is all, once again, another take on generational legacy type stories within the JSA. So, you get more of that there. So you expect it. So the Harlequin was actually an old villain of Alan Scott Green Lantern. So I don't know if they'll delve into that as well. But anyway, that's about it. Alan Scott is determined to, put a stop to this Red Lantern, but then, of course, his feelings concerning her father come to the surface, and he feels he has to try to save this girl. And Helen says in her future time, which apparently now no longer exists because of the time travel shenanigans, villains like her became heroic and joined the JSA, and she's saying, let's recruit her, so now Alan Scott's thinking we'll do that. Then it ends on this surprise that looks like Feral Lad from the Legion of Superheroes. More time travel shenanigans, so okay, there's that. But so far, issue 8 with Justice Society of America, and quite the letdown. Was hoping for better. Jeff Johns has left already. This is his script and everything. I don't know how much more he wrote for it. This was his initiative to start off, but he's moved on to his Ghost Machine universe that he's forming over at Image, and so I don't know who succeeds him. Maybe they'll do a better job or get it moving and having some action or something. But truth is, Jeff Johns was one of their better writers, and he's gone. So, and this is the work he turned in. I don't know. The Stargirl miniseries was better than this, surprisingly enough. I didn't expect that. And then, of course, the Jay Garrick Flash is excellent. It's really good. I like that one. And the Wesley Dodds Sandman is pretty good. And they're leaps and bounds better than Justice Society of America. And that's unfortunate. Maybe it'll pick up, but it's 8 issues in. It's high time to get going. But I don't know. So anyway, of course, the Alan Scott Green Lantern is nothing but his gay love stories. And, not even love stories. They apparently had him soliciting gay prostitutes. Oh, there's something. Yeah, that's nice. So anyway, finally, at the title that started it all, Action Comics, we've got an adventure with Superman. I need to be more careful with the books. But Superman teams up with John Constantine, and it's a good pairing because they're such opposites and stuff. And you get a little of that, and that's nice and all, but not a whole lot. It's pretty predictable. So the story, this is multiverse shenanigans and an Earth where the Ra's al Ghul family conquered it, and Ra's al Ghul's daughter has discovered black magic and has used it to travel through hell in order to access other worlds so that she can abduct this version of Osul, one of the super twins from Warworld. Her brother's upset that she's gone and wants her to be one of her soldiers in her, magic army that's going to conquer the multiverse, or what have you. So meanwhile, there you have the team up with Superman and John Constantine, which would be the high point of this, but you don't get a whole lot of it. Superman doesn't listen to Constantine, despite the fact having recruited him for this very purposes, and walks right into a magic trap and ends up transported to another realm and runs into Etrigan and Bloodwind. Yeah. But that's the cliffhanger for this one. So we'll see where it goes. But I mean, it's understandable that Superman falls for the trap because he's so overwrought by trying to find his adopted daughter, and so okay, it's fine enough in and of itself. The backup story here is featuring Dreamer, who's the character developed for the Supergirl TV show to be played by a trans woman. And so the trans woman, Nicole Maines, I believe the name is, wrote this story. And there's John Kent. I thought they were still calling him Superboy, or one of the Superboys. He keeps going by Superman because they, prematurely aged him. And there he is in this midriff shirt. I don't know. Is he dumping his boyfriend for Dreamer? Because they could do that, because he says he's bi, but this would still keep him in the alphabet community. Another identity politics thing. The story in and of itself is very brief. It's got stupid moments where, Dreamer's just the most amazing ever. Takes on someone who has similar powers of hers, and able to see the future, and his name is Afterthought. Which, it's kind of funny. And you get a little appearance once again by this Dr. Hate character that's working with Amanda Waller. And it ends on an interesting note in which Amanda Waller set all this up because she's testing Dreamer and manipulating her for her own purposes, and seems like she succeeded in this at the end. But do I care? Not really, no. So the final backup story is really just a preview for this new series about General Zod, and it's pretty lackluster and boring. General Zod has his own little family on his new Kandor planet, and he's building an army to, conquer the universe, that's important to him. He's General Zod after all. What else is he going to do? They're doing these experiments on the indigenous population, turning them into super soldiers. It's not going well. Their bratty son is a bratty son, and he feels left out and is upset. And then suddenly he discovers, oh my God, Daddy's building a war fleet, which is the sort of thing he'd be into. So I don't know why he's so shocked about it or what have you. But anyway, oh boy, where's this going? Well, you'll have to check out Kneel Before Zod #1. I don't really intend to, because you didn't win me over with that little intro. So hopefully they'll have better backup stories next issue for action. And they are moving in another direction. Jason Aaron's coming in. I don't know. The art looks cool in the previews I've seen. So, it might be something. I don't know. Time will tell. Finally, I didn't get a chance to read this, but after a long wait, I got my copy of Claptrap. Now, this was an Indiegogo campaign that I backed, and this is a collection of movie parodies that artist Tom Richmond did with writer, is it Desmond Devlin? Or I'm already forgetting. Jesus, embarrassing. But Tom Richmond, he was the successor for Mad Magazine of Mort Drucker and Angelo Torres. And he did all those television and movie parodies in the magazine. And then, there's really no Mad Magazine anymore. And so he and this writer pal of his got together and decided to do parodies of films that you didn't see in the magazine. There's Psycho. That was never done. So there, I think there's this Rise of Skywalker. There was no, they'd been parodies of all the Star Wars films. So he said, hey, there was no Rise of Skywalker parody. So that's in there. So Blues Brothers is there. Goodfellas is in there somewhere. And stuff like that. Just the films they didn't get around. There they are. There's the writer, and there's Tom Richmond. Yeah. And I love the artwork. I love the styling and everything, because Mad Magazine, the parodies, had a huge influence on my own art style. and Tom Richmond was a great successor to the greats of Mad Magazine. And hope they do another volume. Hopefully they can do it quicker. What happened, there's always delays with Indiegogo campaigns, unforeseen problems and whatnot. And then, of course, COVID, I'm sure, played a role in that. But, you know, and I got these extra things. And there was this little card explaining that Tom Richmond, TomRichmond.com, has a store there where you can get your own copy. Normally with these Indiegogo campaigns, I always have to say, hey, I really recommend this, but I guess you'll have to look for it on eBay or go to a follow-up campaign that might have a bundle for a previous product with a new one, and you can get it there. So there I got a card signed by Tom Richmond, so that's nice. I don't know that you'll get that from the store, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, should you be interested in this, and if you're a fan of the Mad Magazine and the parodies and whatnot, I think that it's a good bet. I haven't delved into the stories. I just got it a couple of days ago and hadn't had time to read the stories, but I think I'll enjoy them. And certainly the artwork, it's a beautiful book. And so check it out at your leisure over at TomRichmond.com and look for the store there, and you can probably get your copy of Claptrap. Yes, idiotic parodies of iconic films. Yes, yeah. Well, anyway, I'll have some more comics for next week on the Wednesday show, and I hope you'll join me then. Because, well, I'll be here, and hopefully I will find the time to read them shortly. And, you know, see you then.